What's up, YouTube? Back with another video. LA Mamba. It is December 10, 2023. It is Sunday, 7:53 a.m. And before we open up the tire shop, we open up at 9 o'clock. So we got plenty of time for a video. Yeah, guys, so, yesterday was a very, very busy day. Very, very profitable, too. Haven't I told you guys that I love the tire shop business? It was awesome, and a lot of sales. And we even lined up customers for future sales. Like, I believe we got some sold tires today when it comes to the new ones. And also, you know how it is, people ask prices and they have it in mind and they want to come back to buy them. And by the way, guys, you want to make sure you leave some very good seeds with the customer while you're talking to them. You know how it is, they call you over the phone, they ask you for some tires. You know you have the best price in this certain tire because you got it at a great price and no shop can compete with you, but the customer doesn't know that. You know that, but the customer don't know that. So you want to make comparisons with what market prices are. I like to always compare with the Chinese price, because anywhere they're gonna go, the tire shop owner or the tire shop employee is gonna tell them, this is what your tire costs, and they're gonna go for the lowest prices possible because, affordability is the number one thing the customers look at. And so I want to tell them up front there and then, and why the product that you have is better than the Chinese product. Just an example, if I have a American product I'm comparing to the Chinese, I want to make sure I tell them that, and kind of like put them in order. Like, these are the Chinese brands, these are like the middle brands, and then these are like the good brands. You name them, and then your tire is gonna fall in there, right? Just an example in this example. So. And then tell them the price, and make sure you tell them you want to compare apples to apples when it comes to when they're gonna go get prices, right? And so then they have it in mind, like, oh yeah, like, well, if the Chinese price is costing me $500 and this guy over here is giving me a American brand, it's gonna cost me the same price, but it's like two to three times better. Like, they're gonna last longer and better quality product. Yeah, I'm gonna go back to them. So then they'll come back to you and they'll purchase the product eventually when they have the money, or whenever they're ready, or whenever they have the time to go to your place. And I always make sure I do that. And that's another little secret I do, is like, I make sure I explain everything very good with the customer, so they have enough knowledge to make a smart decision. And at the same time, you line yourself up really good for, like, hey, well, I got these, right? And so, yeah, I mean, I'm sure you guys do that somehow, but it works really good. If you make it a habit, do that consistently. And by the way, I only do that when I know I can get the sale by force, kind of in a way. Not by force, but like, okay, next week when they shop prices, and they like obviously see like the price. And another thing, and like, if you have a little wiggle room, and you can lock up the deal with that little wiggle room, then I usually do it right there and then. So, like, let's say I know I have some room to go down on the price. And I know how people are so like tight with their money that I'll give them that discounted price there and then. They're not even asking about it. I just give it to them. So now it's like when they're looking at the other prices like, well, now the American price is actually cheaper than the Chinese price. I'll be a fool not to go with that, right? And so that's what I do too, and that's what I actually did on this example. I actually said, well, you know, the best I can do is $480, just like that. Like they don't even ask for a discount, nothing. They're just asking for prices. So now that's in the mind. They're like, oh, like $480. That's even more tempting. It's under $500. So when they get prices of Chinese tires like $500, then they're like, man, I'm like, okay, like I'm gonna go to him whenever I have the time, whenever I have my day off or whatever. And that just like, if you have the customer like 80% down, then that thing throws it like 95% down, right? Like that they're gonna purchase from you. Just an example. But the point is like, those are like little tricks that really work, and it secures you the sale, especially if they're a customer that likes your service. Then that thing like just 95% secures your sale for the future on those certain tires that you can make a sale there. But anyways, so yeah, actually that brings me over to our topic of today, is looking at the view of the customer when it comes to the tire shop business, right? This will be a first video I've ever made. I made like 140 videos, but I just use examples here and there. But I'll make this video regarding how does a person look at the tire shop business when it comes to all around aspect, buying, even just looking at it. And with that, you'll be able to understand their behavior and their buying decisions, which will help you with your future sales. And sorry about that. And so that alone is gonna make you this video very informative to you. And if you put it to use, if you're in the tire shop business working as an employee, even as an employee, you're gonna be able to see, wow, like I know I can make more money now, because just making little tweaks will help a lot. So we'll just start from the beginning, from zero scratch, right? So customer has a car or cars, and there's tire shops in the world to service cars. So, they get nails, they want to buy some tires, and they have enough for use only, or they have enough for new. Customer works, so that means they're not always available. So time is in the equation. And customer has a family or don't have a family, and customer makes money, right, from the job. So money's in the equation. Maybe they don't have enough, or maybe they have enough, right? So just think about those things just to start off, right? All right, customer goes to work, and they just focus on going to work. So they'll even drive by your place and not even notice it. Like my place, right in a corner and one of the busiest intersections in many miles from here, right? But I get customers still to this day saying, I've never noticed this tire shop here before. So that means they're not paying attention to things around them. And maybe they just pulled in, or maybe they just, saw you online, or maybe someone referred them to you. So again, customer has a car, and no service is needed now. So they're not even thinking about a tire shop. And they just say they don't have a tire shop, right? They just don't know nothing about tires. They do not have a tire shop in mind. They have friends that know about tire shops, that, oh, I love this tire shop here, I love that tire shop there. But no conversation is in the works because this customer don't need a service right now, right? So then, one, they could be driving and one day they just notice your shop and they're like, well, maybe one day if I need some work, I'll stop by the shop because I'm driving to work and I can just stop by before going to work. And by the way, customers, what they do is they'll let's say they need a patch, they'll either call their job and say, I need to get a patch, I'm gonna be late, and then they come into the shop and patch the tire. Or they'll come into the tire shop and while they're here, they'll call their work, hey, I'm getting work done, I'm getting a patch, or whatever they're doing, and I'm gonna be late to work, right? That's one way that happens. So pretty much location is how they're gonna come into your job. Not that they like you or they don't know anything about you, it's just that they just saw you on their way to work, right? Another one is that, they wake up at their house and they have a flat tire and they're like, oh no. And then so they don't know nothing about tire shops, so they get on the phone, tire shop near me. And then they have like a list of tire shops, and then they'll look at the rating, right? And then they're like, okay, I want to go to that one. And then they see the pictures, and then they're like, all right, yeah, this one looks good. That's how they judge the tire shop, right? The pictures look good. Anyways, they put the button, call, and then they'll call, hey, you answer, right? You guys do flat repairs? And like, yeah. How much is it? And then you ask, okay, well, what size? And then they say, oh, it's for a Toyota Camry. And then you're like, oh yeah, just whatever you charge, right? Oh, okay, cool. All right, yeah, I gotta figure out how to take it to you, but we'll see you there. So then pretty much they either like call AAA, they'll tow it to you. If a guy knows how to work on cars, they'll put a jack on it, take it off with the with the wrench, and take it to you by either like a friend give you a ride or a family member give him a ride, or they'll figure out a way. I mean, I've had people come in taxis and Ubers, patch the tire and go back to the house with the Uber back with another Uber, right? The point is, like, that's another way that is the buying mindset of a buyer. So let's go a little more in depth. They're actually from the area, and they know people, and they're like, get a flat, and then they call their cousin, hey, I got a flat, damn, can you help me out? Nah, I can't, I'm at work or whatever, right? Damn, all right. And then the cousin says, oh, okay, yeah, but you know what, take it to this spot, they're really freaking good. It's my boy, and then you're like, oh, okay. So then just like that, like the person is gonna do what the cousin says because he doesn't know any better, and then the cousin, like, he does know, he's gonna recommend, oh yeah, like that's the place right there. And there you go. Let's say they do get the AAA, right? This one happens to me a lot. They get the AAA and they get it and like, oh shoot. Well, or whatever, like, let's say they were driving to work and now like a block away, they got the nail how to pull over. They call AAA and they lift it up and they're like, take me to a tire shop, and they don't know, right? So they're like, all right, oh yeah, all right, cool, yeah. And by the way, all the AAAs know tire shops. That's what they do on the daily. So they have a particular tire shop that they like, and so like they'll, all right, cool. They have like particular tire shops and wherever they're at. So like they'll usually get the car and take it to the nearest tire shop that they like, which is, let's say it's yours, right? And they'll be like, oh yeah, I take it to this shop, man. They're badass, man. Highly recommend them. And then they'll bring it to your shop. And by the way, I got a bunch of AAA guys bringing cars over here. Even the farther they bring them, because they know that we have like a big inventory. So like they know if they, freaking bring it to us, then they're just gonna drop it in jam. I mean, they're busy, right? Or another thing is that they'll tell, oh, who do you recommend? And then they'll say, okay, call this shop, call that shop. They call you. They're just gonna call you first. They'll say, hey, do you have this size? In case the flat no good. And then like, yeah. Or how much is it? This is the price. You're going to give, got good prices here, right? All right, cool. We'll bring it. And so the AAA guy gave them your number or your name. They Google it, and then they'll call you and see if you got the tire, right? So those are the beginner ones. Those are the guys that don't know nothing, right? For the people that do know about cars, then again, they can ask. But let's just say they don't have a tire shop in mind. Let's just say, then they'll ask their cousin again. Let's just say, oh yeah, I recommend these guys. They're really good. All right, cool. They take it and knock it out, or whatever. They get they ask their cousin, hey, do you have time to give me a ride? Oh yeah, where to? Well, I got a flat. I mean, I don't know, but okay. Yeah, I'll take you to my guy. The guy's really badass. Let's go. All right, go pick him up and bring him to your. So that's like the basic buying methods of like, oh wow, like I'm gonna go patch a tire or buy a used tire, just simply because of that, right? I mean, again, the guy who knows things about cars, they Google yourself, or they just they go online and they look for tires for sale. Let's say on OfferUp that, oh shoot, like I'm gonna need some, but I'm pretty nearby. And nowadays, like, it's way different than it was before. Nowadays, it's like all the people are on. All the people are on the internet now, so now they're like, Google the nearest person that has it, and then they'll go for it, right? If you have some tires, like, just who knows, like by luck that you have something similar to the size, they'll hit you up, and then they'll come. So I even saw like regular used tires off of OfferUp when I have like 235 45 18s on there. They'll have like a 225 45. They'll Google and then they'll just like come. Because they know it's a tire shop that has the tires. And so they know they have more tires. So like, they'll hit you up. Hey, do you have 225 45? Like, it's not even the tire that you have. And I'm, oh yeah. And then, all right, how much? And then give them the price. And all right, cool, we'll be there. And then they come. Because that's just the way it works, right? And so then like, the next one is like, okay, like, they know their shop. So they'll continue to like come to their shop. I mean, as a regular, customer. And that's like the real basic one right there. Once they know a place, they just go back. Another one is that, again, starting from scratch, they have a car, they go to a job, they don't know anything, but the little light comes on the car, the air pressure light, and they need air, they know that. So then they'll like just stop random places. They'll go to gas stations. Because that thing is going to be like every few months that light turns on if you don't put air. Because it only has like 5 to 10 tolerance on that. If it's supposed to be 35 psi, it's like once it gets on like 25 for sure. Like if it's at 24 psi, the light turns on, right? And the newer cars, if it gets like to 29 psi, then that thing turns on. But anyway, so then like they'll stop by places, and then at the same time they'll stop by yours just because they're on the way to work. And put air, and then they see it, they see the shop, and like, they're like looking at it like, wow. Right? And then they'll and then now they leave, right? And just because of that right there, that does a huge impression on their mind. Number one, if they pull in and you don't charge them air, they like it already, right? If they pull in and you charge them for air, then it's like they don't really like that. But at least they know that, that they saw a place that, you know, potentially, you know, pretty cool, you know. But they pull in and it's like, all right, well, oh, cool, I like it, you know, like they didn't charge me air, awesome. And easy to get in, easy to get out, and they go to the job, right? Next time something happens, then they're gonna have you in mind because they saw your shop. Oh yeah, like, hey, there's a shop right there. It's cool people and shit, you know. And then so that's another way. It just air, like, I you know, like, it's funny, but it's just because they pulled in for air, don't remember your shop. That's why you always want to get free air, in my opinion. Don't charge for air, because they'll you know, if it's a semi truck and they want to put all the air, yeah, I go ahead and charge. I charge. But if it's like a car that wants like 4 air or whatever, then it's like that ain't nothing. Just give it the air, you know. But anyways, that's my thoughts. So that's one way. Anyway, that's you know, I can continue more with like examples, but that's not the whole point of this conversation. It's just a starting point, you know. Keep going on the whole like customer view, right? So then now they come, they patch the tire, and now they're a customer, right? They like your service, and so like that does a few things. Number one, when they come, when they're gonna need a tire again, or patch again, or service again, number one place that's gonna come to their mind is your shop, because they already did a service, right? So whether it's like, you know, whether it's like they're gonna buy tires or patch, even though they've been to other places in the past, just because they were there last at your shop is like the freshest thing on their mind, and your service was pretty decent to good, then you're gonna have the first shot at whatever they need, which is they need used tires, or they need new tires, or just a simple patch. They need a patch. That's just real basic for most customers. Now, yeah, there's some customers that are gonna be like, shop around. Oh, I need new tires. They'll go on their phone and go online, or they'll hit up like a place that they've been to in the past. Very few are gonna be doing that. Most customers are not that thoughtful. Most customers, they're not thinking about fucking tires. They're not thinking about nothing. They're just thinking about, damn, I gotta get a freaking patch again. I'm gonna go over there, and that's how it is. Like, don't overthink things. Like, oh yeah, like they're gonna be shopping all over the place. They're gonna get my price. They're gonna compare it over there. They're gonna compare it over there. They're gonna make a decision. You know, very few customers are gonna do that. Most are just gonna like come to your shop or call you and then go based on that. If it's too much for them, then they'll go to the next shop, and that's all it's gonna be. It's not gonna be like they're shopping for a house and shit. You know what I mean? It's not like that. They ain't shopping for real estate, my boy. They're just shopping for freaking tires. So anyway, so then they're gonna go and do that. And which means it's an awesome thing, because if you already had a bunch of like people come in to put air and a bunch of flat tires, then that means a bunch of sales are next, you know. And it's the same thing with the tire shop business. You know how it is, like whatever amount of work you put in like 6 months prior, that's the type of result you're gonna get like 6 months later, a year later, just because you put in a massive amount of work. And that's why you want to be like there at your shop, and you want to be on it, hustling, operating the shop, because if you do that, then it's like all these customers are gonna know you, and they're gonna just come like back after. You know, it's pretty much the amount of work you put in is what you're gonna get out in the tire shop business. You're gonna get out more, you're not gonna get out less. So make sure you do a ton of fucking activity to get a ton of fucking sales, pretty like that. And that's what I do. I put a bunch of freaking work, and I get a bunch of freaking sales. But anyways, and that includes the tire shop putting in work also, not just you like personally. Yeah, that's like counts a lot, huge. But it means like the tire shop is putting in work too. So like, it means your guys too, you know, like your workers putting in the, you know, the good patches and the air and all that stuff, you know. So anyways, other things, just random things, right? But I can go all day, but like the whole thing is like views. Okay, so views of the people, the customers, they're not thinking a few things. They're not thinking, man, these guys are freaking killing it, or these guys are rich, like we're gonna sue these guys. If they're people that are like that, they're gonna be trying to sue some other companies and bigger fish, not like a little guy with a little tire shop. They think, oh yeah, these guys don't got money and shit, it's all good, like I'm gonna go sue somebody else, right? So they're not thinking that. Also other like, if let's just talk about you're the best, you're like the freaking best in the city, right? Or whatever it is, the freaking a few cities away, right? If you're like in smaller towns and you have less people, like let's just say you're the best one, but you do not want to claim that. I know a bunch of guys always like trying to claim it. Oh, we're the best tire shop or whatever it is. Like we're the best. The reason you don't want to do that is that customers now they're gonna have a target on you, and not only that, you can have tire shop owners that are gonna have you as a target, even though you are really really good. Let's say you are the best. Now you have a huge target saying, yeah, let's get this fool. Let's sue him. Let's like do whatever, because now like, oh, this makes a lot of money because they're the number one place or whatever. Let's get this guy. So you don't want to do that. Also, if you're Ali Mama's fucking people listening to me right now, you're gonna be a smarter guy than if you have no guidance, right? So don't do that. Like on your website, oh yeah, we're the best. Number one, it doesn't look good, in my opinion. Oh yeah, these guys, Number two is like customers, they get the freaking impression like these guys, like we're gonna say our tire was damaged and we're gonna get new ones for free, things like that. Like people are gonna want things from you, and there's no need for that. And it's like, for me, I'm like, I say I'm not the best, man. I just say I'm not the best when it comes to this shit, like I don't want to be the best, you know what I mean? But so anyway, so then I just do my thing pretty much, I'm just working and shit, I'm just fucking providing for my family and shit, you know what I mean? And trying to buy some real estate while I'm at it. But anyway, so then customers don't think that if you're just like a regular freaking shop, right? Like if you have all these freaking nice ass cars in the front, like trying to show off and shit, that kind of stuff, right? But I'm just saying that because I knew some shops like that. Anyway, so other things that they're, let me see, what else that they not gonna think. What else? That's the bad. What else? Okay, let's say when it comes to just coming from the outside, I had another one in mind. They're coming from the outside, then it's one thing they kind of do think is that you have the connections with everything, and you probably do. Like oh yeah, I got the connection, like mechanic work, like or body work. Hey, hook me up with your boy, or a lot of customers hit me up, all the small guys, right? Hey, hook me up with your small guy and shit, like they see you like the freaking guy, like if you live in the underworld and you like know all these people and shit. And it's kind of true, like you kind of like know like all these people, because you say like they just come to you, right? All the shops around here, they need tire shop guys too. But like the customers, they think like you got the connection for everything. Hey Tom, I'm your cousin and shit, A lot of people are like that, and it's cool. I mean that's awesome. But like they think you're the connect, right? You're the plug for everything and shit. You like plug the tire, yeah. I'm the plug for tires, but motherfucker, I'm the plug for the whole world and shit. Anyways, so yeah, so they think that, you know what I mean? Other thing, the customer's point of view, what they think about tire shop business, they think that you get the tires for real cheap. hey man, lower the price a lot, man. They that's what they think. They like, damn, like these are each tire's $195. Hey, hook me up, dude. I'll give you 150. That happened to me yesterday. But yeah, they think that you get the tires real cheap, so you gotta really tell them. Oh, this is the way I say it. I say, hey, well, it ain't me, man. Like, you know, the brands, man, those things, those guys are the ones freaking that are very expensive, you know, like they bring up the price. It ain't me, like it's the small guy, it's them, you know. And then they kind of get it, like, oh yeah, man, this guy's, he's not making the tire and shit, you know. Yeah, you gotta pretty much put out the responsibility on somebody else and shit, you know. Other things the customers think is that the tire manufacturer is gonna give them warranty for everything. Like if they have a blowout, oh yeah, like warranty for life and shit, you know. But see, the number one thing that messes up on cars, I think, is tires, because there's the thing where the rubber meets the road, and like you get nails or like hit curves or whatever. That it's only rubber, you know. So like anything's gonna like destroy the tire, and so they kind of think like the manufacturers are gonna give warranty for everything, you know. When in true, it's actually the quite opposite. Like if you ever try to do warranty, man, like they ain't giving you shit. Like I've tried so many times for like different brands. Try to do warranty on Michelin. Fuck. You're gonna have to go through like a freaking mad ass obstacle, man. Like those fucking, what do they call those mud runners? Fucking obstacles. And I'm not even in shape. You know what I mean? I play a little basketball, but I'm not in shape like that. You know what I mean? But like, you know, the freaking 25-mile fucking mud runners fucking obstacle. And you gotta do it all perfect for you to get that freaking warranty. Yeah, that shit ain't gonna happen, man. Like you have a lot more better chance getting warranty on those Chinese brands like these than you do on the good brands. It's funny, like you would think it's the opposite, right? The bigger company gives you the better warranty, and the little Chinese ones are not gonna give you shit. And you know how it is, like the container tires, you know, they make them bulk, like they'll just like, that's what I call them, container tires. Like let's say like they'll have a brand that comes out for like a year, and like they'll make all these tires, you get like a good price or whatever, and then like later on they'll change the whole brand and they'll like have like the same design, but like they have like the same shit all over again, you know. Like you have I call them container tires. It's not like a brand that like it's here to stay and shit. They're like a company that's just out there to make money in China, and they'll just like make a whole bunch of tires, they'll sell or something, and then they got like a big lawsuit or something, or who knows what the fuck happens, and then they're gone. They disappear from the face of the earth. And that's why you have so many freaking brands out there. Like you have like thousands of freaking brands, and like I don't know how many brands, but I'm just saying, like it feels like there's thousands, and that they just like they'll do this whole like pop up out of nowhere, make money, and then disappear, right? I call them container tires. But anyways, those are even have a way better chance of giving you any warranty, because what happens is usually like someone out here adopts them, like they, let's say like a big shop, they have the rights to them, and then like or a big wholesaler, they have the rights to them. And then like, oh, we're the only one that sells a Turo, or we're the only one that sells freaking Blackhawk or whatever it is, you know? And so like they sell, and then like when they get the junk ones back, like the explosion ones back, the returns or whatever, then that person is the one that, oh yeah, like we'll give you a warranty, you know? Oh yeah, we'll give you a warranty. I don't know why they do that, but I think they just want to be cool with like us, the tire shop guys. But they do that. Hankook, on the other hand, is not gonna help you out like that. Like they would just say, oh, this is what you gotta do to warranty and all this shit. But in reality, like it doesn't happen, man. Like I tried like so many times. I mean, yeah, you can try like and maybe get one here and there, but you know the truth is like it ain't gonna happen. So they think that, oh yeah, like a tire blows up, I'm good and shit, you know. Well, no, that's why I always give my warranty up front and have them like understand it really good. So when they come back, then they understand that there is no warranty for that, you know. So that's what you got to be really good at explaining your warranty when you sell the new ones. Oh, before you even sell the new ones, you got to explain it really good. And then when you sell them and they're paying you, you got to explain it to them again. So they're gonna know, and that's how you get really good customers, by the way. Cause they don't want to think like, oh yeah, like this guy screwed me when it comes down to like, oh I'm gonna give a warranty, and so like, yeah, they say like, oh yeah, like, can you ask like, you know, Goodyear, can you give me a warranty? Just an example. And you're gonna like, I you know, in reality, I don't want to waste my time, you know what I mean? And I don't want them to waste their time, and I don't want them to expect. So I tell them up front, hey, you know, these guys, they're not gonna give you shit, you know what I mean? Like, I wish they did, but like, that's why, like, this is the warranty that it comes with the tires. Like, just so you guys know, like, what I give, and maybe it might help you guys out. But with the new tires, what I give is free flat repairs and free rotations for life. You know, with that, you know, whenever they need something, we can help them out. We have the power to do that. You know, I don't say, oh yeah, when you blow out, you have the manufacturer warranty. You don't have power, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can tell them all that nice stuff, and, you know, it might sound cool, but in reality, when it comes down to doing the warranty, it's like, oh yeah, I'm sorry, they didn't give it to you, and you just wasted a whole bunch of time. Your time, you wasted a whole bunch of their time, all this fucking paperwork. That, like, you're a tire shop guy, you're not a freaking administration guy that knows how to fill up all that shit. And like, apps, download the app and put this, and fuck that. That's why I rather give my warranty, and this is our warranty for the tires. Like, this is what the tire has. I don't say nothing about manufacturer warranty, because if something happens and it's like, oh yeah, like, all that pressure puts onto you, and so, like, you know, Ali Mama's a guy who wants to make money and you know, and help the customers really good, but I don't want to go do something that, first of all, I don't know how to do. I don't want to do it. They're not gonna give it to you anyways. So that's why I tell them this is a warranty that these tires have, and you got, you know, 10,000 miles later, you wanted to come do a rotation, hit me up. We'll do it for free, no problem. So, like, I'm pretty loose with like that stuff, like the free flat repairs, free rotations, and at the same time, they're my customers, right? So I want them to be like number one chingon, like they feel welcome and all that. So, like, I don't want to like press them on like, oh yeah, do you have the receipt? Like, oh no, I'm not gonna give it to you, but I know that they bought the tires. So, like, I'll just give them the freaking like patch. Oh, how much is it? Oh, no, nothing, man. Like, it's all good. And so, like, you want to be like that with the customers and have them, oh yeah, thank you, man. Like, have them feel like all comfortable and cool. And don't want to feel like, yeah, like these guys screwed me on the warranty and shit. So that's why I tell them, okay, this is what this is what the warranty is: free flat repairs and free rotations, and that's it. You know what I mean? There's nothing else. And so now they know that, oh, it doesn't cover explosions, you know? Or when customers ask, do they cover this, or what if this happens? And I say no up front before they even buy the tire, they know what to expect from our shop. So I'm not saying it's the right way or wrong way, but let me tell you something. This eliminates like 90% of the headaches later on. Yeah, there's still some people that come back, like I was telling you in this conversation, the customers think that the tires are gonna give them like, they say Bristol's gonna give them a warranty of that. That's only for like 10% of the people that have a blowout. So, you know, that's that. But yeah, they still think that, but then, you know, you still covered it, and they cover the topic, and they're like, oh, all right, cool, you know. Well, it is what it is. And guess what? When that happens, when you see them oh man, that sucks. Like, number one thing, like they kind of already thought of that in their mind, and they just kind of like want to express to you, oh man, I'm sad, you know. So the truth is, they're still gonna come back and be your customer. And I see it over and over and over and over and over and over again. When something happens like that, they still are my customers, because they think about it like, well, if I leave to another tire shop, then, you know, I'm gonna go to that big ass fucking headache all over again. and then they think, well, it wasn't even their fault. First of all, like they did the job right. They didn't blow out because the job was done wrong. Like the tire blew out like 6 months later. Just an example. When I picked up something from the freeway, it wasn't not even the tire's fault. It was the thing that was on the freeway's fault. So they think, and they're like, you know what, it's all good, and everything goes back to normal. They're still your customer. They still buy tires from you. It wasn't your fault. You know, it's not like we did something. It's not like the tire manufacturer did something wrong. It's just that things happen, you know. And so anyways, so that's that. But that's what people think anyways. Yeah, so let me just keep going down. I mean, what else about the customers that they think or want or you know, physically? Okay, physically. So customers look at everything. They come to your shop and they see it's dirty and, you know, all that stuff, right? And it's funny because, like, years ago, remember I would tell you my stories of, like, there was a big ass fucking pile of tires, big old messes and shit. Like, I'm not gonna play like all this area right here, all this was like all the way like up here, oh, like right there. And the tires will like end up right here. The mountain of tires will end up here. It would go like all the way up, and then like, and it'll end up right here. And there's only one way to get to the back. Back then it was like all covered this way, and it was covered with racks this way. Before, like, this wall was here. And so like and also I was young, you know, so I was athletic and stuff. I had to like climb up like a monkey all the way up, and then go all the way back to get to the back side, and then now you can look for other tires. And like, you know, customers notice all that shit, you know, like, oh, it takes forever to freaking look for a tire, or it's tires everywhere, it's a big mess, trash everywhere, there's no parking, there's always broken cars and shit, right? Like, all that stuff is like noticed by customers. So like, let me tell you guys something. If it's cleaner, then it's better. Like, I'm talking about like the floor is cleaner, like stuff on the wall. If it's painted, you know, if it looks a little nicer than before, keep a little maintenance up. Like, if they come to your shop, like my shop, every year after year, and they see it like upkept, clean, it's always like the paint's on the walls kind of decent, you know. The restrooms are like, they're not like always clean, but like they're, at least there's no trash everywhere, and like, you know, like it's workable, and there's always paper there, and you know what I mean? Like, and so like, if they all notice all that stuff, like if it's like always like good, then they say like, oh yeah, like you have a nice shop, you have a clean shop, you know, that's what they say. Because number one thing, they go to other places and then they compare, and they're like, oh yeah, like they over there have big ass mess and shit, you know, can't even park, there's tires everywhere. And then they come over here and they're like, oh, a lot of parking, it's clean. And they don't give a fuck about how much tires you have. Like all this stuff right here, they don't care about this. They care about they can get in and out, and number one thing they care about, to tell you the truth, is like they expect that everything's gonna come out right the first time, and it should. But they expect that, so they're not even gonna compare. Oh yeah, did they do a good job or not? When it comes to like, if they pass the tire right, they expect that shit would be passed right. So what they look at is speed, because they're busy. So number one thing they look at is like, how fast can you get me in and out? I gotta go to work. You know, that's what they look at, and they expect that pass to be good regardless, whether it's slow at patching or fast at patching. So you gotta put your people and do it fast. And it doesn't mean like Speedy Gonzalez fast. What it means is that you have a guy that's taking care of there, and they get out in a decent space, decent time, and you have another guy when another car comes in, let's say theirs, you have a guy to have and put on their car, and the same thing for the next car number 3, you have another guy to like put on their car, and they get out fast. That's what they expect. They expect like speed, like, oh yeah, I was only there 15 minutes type of thing, you know what I mean? In and out of the parking lot. So that's what they expect, and they expect that it's got to be done right regardless. And that's for everybody, not the dirty shop or the clean shop, you know what I mean? So if you can get, and it's like a dirty shop, you have a line, because like the car can't go left, it can't go right. you know, because there's tires in the way, so now it has to wait back there, and you got one guy, and you got to patch it up, and then you got the other guy just waiting. Instead of, okay, yeah, they're busy, but if you have the other guy park and it's ready to be lifted up, then it's like, okay, you know how it is. Once you're in that position, then you can like start away. Right away, you start freaking doing work on the car instead of just waiting in line. So it's like, put in a position to start working on the car now, and it does get worked on faster because it's in the spot, compared to like, we have to wait in behind cars because they're working on the car, and I have junk on the right, which is tires, that I can't get in the parking lot, right? So that's the kind of stuff that they look at and they like. So that's why I always try to keep my place clean, and you guys see it for years. It's always been like that. But anyways, that's what they expect, and that's what they want right there. And by the way, let me just talk about a little bit more about that so you know how important it is. In reality, the number one thing the customers want is speed. And of course, aside from the price, affordability, but that's what they really, really want. Do you have them now? Like it's kind of like you give them prices, and they feel like they have the power of saying yes. And if they say yes, they want it done now. You know, that's just the way it works. Like they don't think like you have to order the tires, and sometimes they don't even know, period. And you have to tell them, and they're like, all right, I'll take them. And they're like, where do I park? You know, and then it's like, oh yeah, I gotta order them if you forgot to say that. And they're like, you know what I mean? It's speed what they want. They want that shit done fast. And but let me go to the number one. So that's number two thing. But number two thing is almost as close as number one. And number one is affordability. I just said it. So how much can I afford? And I mean, it goes down to all these things, man. Like, just an example. Customers are willing to budge on brands. More than likely, like, again, I want to say like almost 90%. Let's just call it 89%. So let's just say you have you know, let's just compare it to this. When you're buying a car, you pretty much know what kind of car you want. Like me, like I'm doing car shopping right now, potentially gonna buy another car, just to mess around, right? Or you know, we'll never know. But anyways. But I know what kind of cars I kind of want, like Camaro, Corvette, or GTO, right? Those are the cars that I'm looking at right now. And so like, it's because of LS Motors. I know how to work on them, and I love the power, and it just, I don't want nothing else, right? I love LS, right? All of my cars have LS, put it like that. Sorry, one car don't, the older one. The Camaro has the LT, but anyway, so like, the point is like, and let's just say usually I know what kind of car I want, and I want to, you know, but this time I'm flexible on the car. I got 3 options, right? But usually I only stick to, let's say, Camaro. I only want a Camaro. It could be any color. I'm willing to budge on the color, but I'm not gonna budge on the car. Like, I know I want like the 4th gen F-body Camaro, which is like the 98 to 2002 year. Let's just say I only want that car, right? I don't want the Trans Am. I don't want a GTO. I only want the Camaro, right? And it's not like that when it comes to tires. Like, when it comes to tires, it's not like they're stuck on freaking Bridgestone. I only want a Bridgestone. No, like, they were willing to budge for like, or any freaking brand if like the price is like way better. So like, when I give a price, let's say like something I have here, just an example. If I have like just an example, a Chinese brand, like, oh yeah, how much is a Bridgestone? And like $1,000, you know? Oh man. And it's like, all right, well, you know what? I got these in stock right now. You know, this is a Advanza brand, and this is what they cost. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's Bridgestone is better, but look at the price. The price is, what is it? Like, I don't know what it was, $480, let's just say, whatever. And they're like, Wow, that's a big difference. Yeah, you know what? I'll take them. I'll take them. You know, the thing is like that price is so huge. It's the same size. You know, it's not gonna last as long as the Bridgestone, but like, it's huge. Like it's like 50%. Just think about that. Like, it might not sound a lot to you when it comes to like $500. You know, but what is huge is if you think about percentages, you gotta think about percentages. How much more percent is like, oh, it's over 100% price difference. So it's kind of like you pay 200% for like a tire, but you can pay like 100%. Example, you know, you want to be like, oh shit, nah, dude, like, and that goes for like, again, about let's just say like about 90%, like almost 90% of the people are willing to budge on the brand because the price. And that's the thing is like a lot of people don't even know prices of tires. Like, you know, when they tell you, oh, I want a Michelin, you know it's gonna be very expensive, and you know you're probably not gonna get the sale, right? And because they don't know anything, like, oh, my car is Michelin, I want a Michelin too, right? You give them a price and like, fuck, that's a lot. But then it's like, yeah, you expected that from them because they don't know about tires and they thought it was gonna be cheap. But then he's like, you know what? But let me give you a more affordable brand, or whatever you say, right? And it's like, oh yeah, like it's gonna cost you this much, like less than like half, right? And it's like, okay, you know, yeah, that's better, like, you know, because the thing is that's the number they were thinking about for their tire, but they thought the Michelin cost that. But in reality, it's like, oh, like, no, it's not. You know, it's like way more expensive. And they're like, all right, well, you know, that's the number I was thinking about. You know, I'll think about those. I'll probably maybe get those, you know, because they want that number. You know what I mean? So they're willing to budge on the brand, but they're not willing to budge on the price, man. Like they're like, no, you know what? That's all I have saved. You know, like, what can I get for this much? So a lot of times they just say that, like, okay, oh, do you have anything cheaper? You give them a price. Oh yeah, like five, like this happened yesterday, $660, right? Yeah, you know that you know $660, and then it's like, oh man, like, you have anything cheaper? And $660 is already a good price for that kind of tire, and that was a 245 75 16, right? And you're like, well, you know what? I do got some of these other ones that have in stock, same size, and I can do 500 for these, you know? And it's like, and they explain to the customer, and then like, oh yeah, okay, we'll take those. So they think, oh, like $160 of savings, you know, that's huge, and they know they're not gonna get that anywhere else. And yeah, they'll take them, you know what I mean? But why? Is because, you know, they're willing to budge on like certain things. But when the ultimate driver that they're gonna go based off is money. So number one thing when it comes to tire shop business is affordability. It's like, can they buy the tires? And that's why the Chinese tires, they dominate, because they're the cheapest. They can in the whole world, they can make it the cheapest out of everybody. For now, I kind of hear, you know, Mexico's gonna be, you know, the leader in a lot of things of being more cheaper because of the whole shipping thing. But for now, Chinese is the one that dominates the whole world when it comes to tires, because they're so cheap. And people, guess what? You know, a lot of people don't have money. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people cannot afford the Bridgestones, the Michelins, but they can afford the Chinese tires. And that's why when I make purchases, I want to compare them to Chinese prices. How much do I buy the Chinese tires prices compared to like how much am I buying these other tires for? So when I sell them, I can sell for the same as the Chinese price. And so that's what if it doesn't work like that, to me, I don't buy them. Like, if I can't get like these Bridgestones, if I can't get these Bridgestones for like a Chinese price, then I'm not gonna buy them. So that's why I don't care if they're just sitting here kicking it, because I know if I try to sell them, I'm gonna sell them. And I don't really care, because I know I can sell them anytime, so I'll just like let them sit. I know my money's good right there. But because how much did I buy them for is the thing, you know? If I can sell them for a Chinese price, then customer will be like, oh yeah, I got a Bridgestone tire for a Chinese price. You know, that shop is good, you know, and they're the cheapest out of everybody. You know, I really like their service. And so like that's the way that the customers think, you know? So like you gotta be angling your business to that, like cater to that way. And by doing that, you're gonna be very successful in the tire shop business. And for many years I've been doing this and it's been working like a charm. And guess what? Lot of sales, lot of profits. And what ends up is you're gonna be able to get your dreams one day. For me, is owning a shitload of real estate. You know, like a bunch of doors, a bunch of tenants. You know, I love that shit, man. Like, you know, I just love that. But the point is, like, you make money with that too. So that's why I'm going for that too, to make money with that too. And you make bigger money with that. I'm telling you too right now. Like, you make bigger money with real estate and tire shop business eventually if you get big enough. But the point is that with the tire shop business, if you kind of keep, you know, wanting to grow and all that, that's the kind of things you gotta know and push and grow, because you gotta know how like people think, you know, like you're gonna have to just adjust your business and go at what they want, and you get sales and sales and sales, and then you'll be like, yeah, this is the life right here. Now I can get my dreams. You know, I may not be a doctor or a pilot or whatever, but I'm a tire shop guy that makes some good money. You know what I mean? All right, guys, I'll let you guys know. Mamba out.